Okay, good morning. I'm back in it today. A little bit's happened since I was last out here. I've been out here for a couple of days. I've had doctor's appointments and other stuff to do. But I'm back into it today. And there's been a change of plan with these. I'm not going to machine them now because I thought they're work hardened. And I'm going to break just about every carbide cutter I've got trying to clean those up. But the guy that I bought these from, not the one that had them, that cut them, he supplied me with some Cubitron pads. Now these things are brilliant. 3M, that's like 1, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. There's about $100 worth of pads there. They're very expensive, but they're very, very good and they last for a long time. Because these little things here are not the normal stuff they put on grinding pads. This is ceramic, actually ceramic, and they last for ages. Yesterday I did it on the battery grinder. I actually did one, I don't know if you can see that there, and that took all of about 30 seconds. And you can't even tell that the pad's been used. So lucky I got a universal vise, that makes life easier. I'm going to turn it around just one at a time and then just take them down until they come down to the machine section. So that'll make them nice and sharp, which it is. And even once I'm done, I might even dress the back of these a little bit. So I'm just gonna, because the stuff that comes off is fairly coarse. I can't really do it any other way. I don't do it towards there because it's got all this stuff here. Got all that stuff there. I'm just trying to think if there's something I can find. Oh, I might just grab a sheet. Grab something, just throw it over the top of everything there, just so I don't get everything covered in metal dust. There's a little bit here, like even from where yesterday, from just that one tooth, so it is going to make a hell of a mess. I'll do this one and I'll put you in the stand and so you can see what's going on, and I'll do a couple more. Just stay tuned. Okay, I've done one. Now what I've gone and I've done, and then I've dressed the back of the tooth as well. So I've got nice sharp edges all the way around, including the corners. So look at the steel. That's just from one. Look. This, and I'm applying very little pressure at all. So that's brilliant. So I'll put you in the stand so you can have a look at me doing one disc, and we'll see if we can get these all done, all knocked over today. That's a bad one. Yeah, I think that's come off. Well, there we go. Number 2 done. These corners I might just try and get in with the die grinder. So here we go. Okay, all done. They've all come up really good. I'll stick a couple of pictures here, the before and afters. And you can see they're nice and straight. Yeah, it didn't take all that long at all. Those Cubitron things, you can see why they're expensive, because geez, they're good. I changed it after I'd done 2 stacks just to see, and there's really no difference. And you can see I've done 16 with that, so 16 and there's 8 teeth on each one. So, and there's bugger all. I mean, that's still got a lot of use yet. So, and I picked up with me magnetic wand. That's most of how much I got off it. Look at that. But they're bloody brilliant. As we can understand why, I had a look online, and you can get a Cubitron 5-inch grinding wheel, $30, and it's the same. It's ceramic. So I figured, yeah, well that'll be why, because they'd probably last 20 times longer than a normal grinding wheel. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to finish these off. But because these are so goddamn hard, you can see the shiny bit, flame hardened. Oh, and an update. I found out what the story is of these, well, with everything. Now, according to my supplier, the people that he gets the stuff done, cut through, apparently because of the lead time, they want to get it done before Christmas, they allegedly used high definition plasma. No, that's his exact words, I shit you not. High definition plasma. I would hate to see standard definition, put it that way. You know, that's garbage. And apparently it costs the same as laser cutting. So, you know, I don't know. Like I said, you would have thought that the operator on the cutting bench would have seen what was going on and stopped it. And thought, hang on, we've got no lead in here. But they just rushed it, and, you know, in the end it's cost me a couple of weeks of machine time and tooling, you know. But it is what it is, and you know, I keep saying, you can only piss with the dick that you've got, and we're paying with it now. So I've got to slow the feed back down. I had the feed just a bit too fast for that. This whole thing was bouncing, and oh, it was nasty. So I'm going to slow that feed right down and finish these. They shouldn't take long. These are all done. Then I'll go over them with the flap wheel and just clean the burrs off it. And then I will cut up the bar to start on the shafts. So, oh, and last night I had a thought, and I'll leave it as a surprise for now, but there's going to be a nice little addition to this machine that I think Big Stack will love, and I'm going to keep it a bit of a secret until I start it, and it won't be until the body and everything's done. So yeah, it'll be a nice little surprise coming there, and I'm pretty sure I can make it work, so stay tuned for that. Anyway, I'll bring you back soon. Stay tuned. Okay, now I've finished machining all these, and I've stacked these up because that's how it's going to look. And I've stacked those so I can measure the height. Then I've got to add to that allowance between that and the body, then between the body and the bearing, and then outside the bearing for the transfer drive, because the drive shaft will be transferred with a gear to the other one, so it'll turn the other one. So so I need to leave some on. I'm going to leave extra because I can always cut it off, but I just need to know what my minimum is. So I'm going to measure that up, and the distance through the gearbox, I've got to add that to it obviously, and the bearing and on both sides. So just let me do that for a second, I'll bring you back. Alright, I've just worked it out and it seems I've underestimated. I've ordered, that's 1 metre exactly of 4140. Now I've worked out one side with the side of the gearbox needs to be 645 and the other side, the non-drive, is 495, and that works out to be 1140, something like that. So what I might do now is I'll get a price to see how much it's going to cost. I'll have to wear the cost of that because I was the one that stuffed it up, but I might see if I can get something bigger and try and take these out. I might put one of these up on the mill later today or in the morning and just try with my carbide end mill and see if I can take out the centre and then work out a way of doing that so that they're all the same. And you see these are all offset, that's how they're supposed to be. I mean, I've got to set them up properly so that they'll be sort of spiraled, you know, like. But the way I've just got to number each disc and then work out which order to put them in, because there's 3 different. I don't know if you can see down in there. Probably not, but there's 3 different offsets for them to rotate. So they're not all the same, because otherwise it's just too hard for it to pick stuff up. Like if it falls down in between all of this, you know, these teeth will get it. I think I've got these right, so these go at an angle. But these others, the bottom I've got here, all right by the looks of it, and I lost the plot at the top here, so I'll work it out anyway, and I'll number them. So let's see what happens, eh? Or I might come back out, strip that off the mill and set it up and see it. I'm going to go inside now and see if I can get a price for some new round bar. I'm not sure how much 4140 will be, but I'll soon find out. Alright, stay tuned. Well, good morning. Friday morning, and I sat down and had a big think last night about these. Particularly after I mentioned in yesterday's video about that bar not being long enough. Now, I rang up and got a price. It's not that bloody expensive, you know. Even for 4140 is $135 for 1.5 metres. Or it's $80 for mild steel. Now I'm thinking, for what this is going to be cutting, I think mild steel is going to be plenty strong enough. It's much easier to work with. And I'm going to machine these out. So what I need to do is make a jig, because I've got to get them perfect, because I don't want any run out. So what I'm going to do is I've just put the 4-jaw chuck on, and that's about as big as I can go. I mean, I can go bigger, but I need space to hold the plate. Like I need some there. It's just in the top half of the screws there. I don't want to go any bigger than that for safety reasons. So what I'm going to do is I've got that 12mm plate out in the carport. I'm going to go out and cut a piece of that off that'll fit in here. I'm going to bore a hole, like drill a hole in it, and then bore it out so it's bigger. So, you know, maybe, I don't know, 50mm. That's supposed to be 32, but you know, maybe make it 40mm bore. And then I'm going to turn 2 reliefs in it, one to fit that in, so they fit in neat, and I want to fit those in. So when I set them up, I think what I might do is set them up and just line them up by eye, because I think it's going to be pretty close, because I'm doing all 4 sides. So if I just line it up by eye, clamp them down, and then hoping that my carbide end mill will cope with that hardened surface. It should. I'm just hoping. If not, I'll have to come up with a different plan. But so I'm going to turn those out to say 35mm, which will be. Hang on, let me pull this tape out. I've gone too far. So, you know, that's supposed to be about 32. If I take it to say 35, that's going to give me clean up all around. Can you see that? And I'll get some 50mm round and then machine it down to fit, so that'll give me an even bigger shoulder, so that'll solve one problem on the drive end, or the non-clamp end, because that'll give me more area here to push up against. And yeah, so I'm going to go and mark this stuff out here, and I'll bring you back when I'm ready to take the plasma out and start cutting up. Stay tuned. Plasma's not strong enough, unfortunately. Give me a sec. Okay, now I've cut that out with the grinder. I was going to film it, but it's going to be presenting a problem. So I think my plasma is only rated to 10mm. That's 12, and I could probably turn it, if I turned all the way up to 30 amps, it'll throw the circuit breaker out. So, but what I'm going to do, although I don't have a lot of sticks up above that jaw, but not that one, I'm going to try and I'll drill a hole, and I'm going to just do a very light face cut on this side and flip it over so that it's parallel, but I've got it within, say, 0.1 roughly. It's just bouncing. There's a little bit of shit on here. So that's, I've got to always come out as far as the jaws. See that one? That one's below, that one's just above. That looks like it's flush up against the jaw, but so I don't want to really. I'll try and clean that up. This bugger all on there, but it's still making the. That's about the best I can get it. I tried. Yeah, I think that's about the best I'm going to get. But now I'm going to have to try and space it out on something so I can face it. The other side I won't have to. All I do is machine. It'll be parallel to this, that'll then bolt down onto the mill. Stay tuned. Okay, I've got that drilled, but because it's so big, and I have to stick the tool out because I can't get too close because it'll hit there, but that's as close to the centre as I can go, but that's okay. I think I'll come back to about here, and when I'm done I'll just, because there won't be much, I'll just use the Cubitron to take that. Sounds like something out of a Transformers movie, doesn't it? Get the Cubitron, and I'll just sand that little piece off the centre. So I said all I do is just a bare clean up. So I'll put you in the stand down, I'll see. Yeah, see, it's touching both sides there. That's 1/4 of a mil. I might just take a little bit more, and I think that'll do it, because as it comes in closer it's going to clean up more. You can see it, but I'll take a little bit more. going to be fine. That looks pretty good. And as you see, it's all out of kilter because that's the guillotine end, and I've cut it off the corner as well. You can see. But as long as I've got the majority of it flat, like I have there, then it'll be all good. So when I'm ready to turn it over, want to do the other, ready to do the other side, I'll bring you back. Stay tuned. Been buggerising around, changing boring bars and whatnot. I had a bit of a problem getting this one to work because the other one, the tip's blunt as hell. This tip's not real crash hot either. That's why I'm taking a spring cut with every single cut, which is kind of a pain. But what do we say, about 35, 36 mil. Oh, we're just about there. Might take another cut. I'll probably do it. Then I'll start cutting out here. Measure the outside. We want about 196, so I might just take a light cut and stop and just check it. So this is where I need to be really careful. I have to stop it and slow, because I have to slow the feed down again. It's a bit of a pain having to adjust the feed all the time. That's why I want a new lathe. Okay, I'm back. I had issues. I lost part of me stuff that of this. Something went wrong with the card in the camera. It said that the image file couldn't be processed or couldn't record high definition video. There was not enough space. I took it in and checked it. There was a mile of space. There was 125 gigs still left on the card, but still wouldn't. So I had to do a full format, and that took ages. And now it's working again, so bring it back out and show you. Now this, I mean, that looks a little bit rough, but that's only because I undercut it a little bit, because there's no chamfers on that. Now those fit in there nicely. No play at all. They should all fit fine. I should have bored it a little bit more, if you can see, but I'll just gouge that out with the end mill. But what I did do, I stuffed up here, you can see the extra line. I screwed it up, but, ow, that's a little bit, so it's got a little bit of play. But these aren't overly critical. As long as I can get them sort of near centre, you know, even if I make these ones a little bit little bit oversized, it won't matter. The important one of these, because they've got to be tight on the shaft. But they should be pretty close. But you know, I'm not about to remachine it again. So that'll have to do. This outer one, the one to do these cutters is the most important. When I was finishing off that side, the tool moved. But I'm going to own this one. I mean, I'll admit when I screw up, the tool that I had in there, I hadn't tightened it down properly. I nipped it down and then I got distracted, did something else and forgot to tighten it fully. So yeah, that's what happened there. So I'll own that. I'll wear it. Because if you screw up, you gotta cop it. But I remachined it, like it's all flat now. So okay, there we go. Okay, I don't know how this is going to go. This thing's playing up again. Fully formatted in about a minute and a half of video, and it came up and said that the card was full and it couldn't record HD video. So I don't know what the hell's going on. I managed to get it to record again. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to call it a day. I'm going to get all this off now, start editing, and get it up this afternoon or tonight. And come Monday, I'm going to put this on, clamp it down, and we'll start working. What I'm going to have to do is mark it out. So, because it's got to be dead center. You know, these have to be dead center. So I've got to try and mark it out so that when I cut here, I can do them all the same, and they're dead center. They have to be exactly in center. So I don't know how I'm going to do that. I might be able to mark it. I might just actually do. Oh no, I have one of these here somewhere that's fully machined. Somewhere I'll find that one and use that one for the marking out. There, and then we'll play on the mill and see if I can get it done without buggering it up, eh? Anyway, that's going to do for now. I'm going to go back inside now and start editing this stuff and see if I can work out what the hell's wrong with this camera. So, and also, you might have seen that in videos of my new logo. Well, I've got a couple of coffee cups made. Look at that. I think that's pretty cool. Anyway, that's enough. See you next time, and as always, until then, stay safe. Peace.